Emilio, the honey badger, Urrutia!
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honey Badger Hour. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Honey Badger Hour podcast. It's your boy, the Badger, and we are back. Thank y'all for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe on the little notification bell below, so whenever we drop new pods and new reaction videos, you get updated right away. All right. We are here, guys. A little bit late, but we are here. Better late than never. UFC 306 is in the books. UFC Spear was a big one. Not the biggest fan favorite for the last two fights, but for the enthusiasts, for the real diehards, it was a great night of fights. Super technical. Two new champions have been crowned. A few people, things like the world is a little bit starting to restore back in order. All right. Merab Dvalishvili defeats Sugar Sean O'Malley, 5-round decision, puts the pace on him, made him hurt, took him down, threw some big punches, beautiful movement the whole round, moving side to side, never rushed anything. The guy looked cool and calmer than the other side of the pillow. Sugar Sean O'Malley looked a little bit flat. Everybody was saying they didn't know what was going on, but big ups to Sugar Sean O'Malley. He did have a really good 5th round, all right? He listened to his corner when they told him you need to fight hard and get out there and get a finish. He went for it. He actually hurt Merab with a couple of those teeps to the body. So that's one of the game plans I wish he would have utilized a little bit early. But what did you guys think? What is next for Sugar Sean O'Malley now after losing his title? All right, a title that everybody was a little bit suspect to begin with. Not to hate on the poor guy. He defeated one of the best and most dominant champions, Aljamain Sterling. And then handpicked his next opponent with Chito Vera, but he had a little bit of history, so that made a little bit of sense. But then he takes on the real number one contender, all right, in a well-anticipated fight. Both guys were talking a good game. Something about Merab, though, guys. This guy is a problem. There's something about like those short, stout fighters are just a problem for MMA. That might just be the perfect frame for MMA. It's tough because you see how the two most likely wanted frames in MMA, right? You either want to be the tall, lanky guy, a la Sean O'Malley, Izzy, Anderson Silva, or do you want to be the short, stout grappler striker, a la Merab, Volkanovski? GSP was also pretty short for his weight class. So it's a tough call, right, guys? But it looking like the short, stocky for the wrestling, especially if you got those long arms, and for the gas tank. There's something about that frame that you just have a super engine. No, not even just about that frame, just about Merab specifically, because this guy's cardio is world class. And you can just tell, his cardio is world class just in his walkout. I mean, when this guy is walking out, he's smiling, he's kissing babies, he's talking to his friends in the stadium. It's nuts, man. That guy looks like he's happier than a pig in shit, and he's about to go into the biggest battle of his life. This guy is fighting some of the most dangerous strikers in the world, and he's coming out smiling, blowing kisses. So when you're that confident going into war, you just know for him, like, fighting the battle is probably the easiest part. The hardest part for a guy like Merab is probably the training, staying healthy, not getting injured, not getting sick, overtraining. Because that guy, guys like that, they like to train 3-4 times a day. And that's when you start getting sick. That's when you start having that's when you get injured. That's when you might become a little bit, like they say, injury prone, a la Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? Had that same work ethic, but also suffered a lot of injuries. We never saw him injured from a fight, but it's from the training, right? Because like that, having that cardio and having that type of comfort inside the octagon and main event fights like that, the level of training that it takes, it's a sacrifice in the body that only the people behind the scenes are going to see, right? Like in those 25 minutes, that's what it's all for. But what people don't know is how much work actually goes into those 25 minutes. I mean, for Merab to be in between the 3rd and 4th round, listen to he's talking to his corner. I actually want to I shouldn't even say this idea. This would be a good idea if I had the damn time. You should make a highlight reel. You can just make a highlight reel of Merab's corner versus his opponent's corner in the last 3 fights, okay? This guy is making world-class fighters sucking for air, okay? I just rewatched Merab Dvalishvili. I just watched him versus Peter Yan to see what Peter Yan can do to make some adjustments and change to win in the rematch, because that's my boy. And, man, Peter Yan, who's always the cardio machine, always the big dog, always the one pushing the pace, right? Even he was damn holding his arms against the fence, you know, breathing hard in between these 5 rounds, in between like the second and third and fourth rounds with Merab. And his corner is just having a conversation. This guy's asking questions. He's asking, hey, what are we going to eat for dinner? He's like, hey, where are we having the post-fight meal at? You know, like that's what these guys are talking about in the 4th and 5th round. So, man, cool and calm under pressure. I know Dana White was pissed, but listen, I'm tired of these forced strikers on us as champions, all right, guys? You got to let the truth play out, all right? In MMA, this is the real fight. This isn't boxing. This isn't kickboxing. This isn't Muay Thai. This is MMA. The name of the game is kick the other guy's ass. And what's the best thing about this sport is the thing that they feel like the UFC and the mainstream is trying to take away right now. Because Dvalishvili gets a lot of heat. Merab, this guy's nickname is the Machine, all right? This guy's getting heat for not finishing fights or whatnot. Now, all right, let's be real. He's got 11 fights in a row, 11 decisions, all right? So that is a little bit of a tough one, right? Because he's like, this is crazy. This is a guy that will decision a 1-0 UFC fighter and decision a freaking UFC champ. So he's definitely a wide range of skill set. I just think one of the gives, that's what it is maybe, you know, like, in life, it's like God only gives you so many tools, right? He's like, all right, I'm going to give you, and it's like, if you were picking your own perfect fighter, guys, what would you pick? We were talking about this in the last podcast, I think. What would you pick? Unstoppable cardio, super cardio, or the touch of death knockout power, right? Do you want to be the Alex Pereira, or do you want to be, we're not even Alex Pereira, because Alex Pereira is special because he's a guy getting knockouts late in rounds, you know? So a lot of guys, this guy can get taken down for 3 rounds and still knock you, though, out, right? But what would you want to take? Do you want that indomitable cardio, or do you want the knockout power? I guess the real answer to that would be, you want everything together, the universal fighter, which is what I think we got with our co-main event. Valentina, the Bullet Shevchenko, is back. The greatest female woman fighter of all time is now cemented herself as that role, becoming oh, damn, Amanda Nunes did it too. Fuck, Amanda Nunes got 2 titles. Damn, Amanda Nunes got 2 belts. And she also has the damn, she also got her fight back. Because I feel like there's one thing winning the title, right? There's a few different ranges of champions, okay? You got guys who win the title, they become champion, but then they lose the next fight. We have a few of those, right? We got kind of Sugar Sean might be that. Sean Strickland, right? Who recently else? Brandon Moreno, few guys, right? Like they become champ, but then they get out right away. Then you got the guys who stay reigning champions for a long, long time, like the Anderson Silvas, the GSPs, all right? But then the next level is when you get the 2-time, 3-time champions, a la Randy Couture, Israel Now, Style Bender, the original a la Muhammad Ali, right? A guy who will go out, win the title, be the baddest dude in the world for 4 or 5 fights, lose, you know, oh snap, the champion lost, but gets it back. I don't know why, guys, because everybody wants to see somebody on top lose, right? Everybody was so happy when fucking Izzy got finished by Pereira. Everybody was so happy when, you know, there's a few champions that when they lose, people were like, oh, this reign is over, right? But then when they get it back, all the people, that deja vu kicks in right away, right? And all the people forget about all the things they did before. But once you get it back, I feel like that solidifies yourself, right? And that's where Valentina is at now. She was a reigning, dominating champ. I think she was like on a 9-fight win streak or something like this, okay? Then she goes on. She finally finds her nemesis after a while. She faces Alexa Grasso in the first fight. She's getting a tough fight, all right? She's dealing, okay? Alexa Grasso's putting good punches on her, putting good combinations, all right? She's doing nice with the hands. And then Valentina figures out how to beat her. She takes her down, starts smashing her, gets caught in the 4th round with that submission, which was throwing off a spinning back kick, ends up getting her back taken, boom. The championship reign is finally over, right? Goes in the rematch. I thought she won. Everybody thought she won, so they make another rematch in the trilogy, but finally she comes back and retains her title in impressive fashion. I want to say at 31, I want to say she's 33 years old, you know, so 2 champions right now, a little bit older. No, Valentina's way older. Yo, you know how old Valentina is, Big Luch? Oh, shit. So today, guys, that's another big thing in the UFC, right? We've seen a champion At bantamweight, I don't think we've ever seen a bantamweight champion get crowned at 33 years old. And we also saw a 125-pound champion as for a woman who became the new champion at 36. Now, I don't think women have the same stats as men with the age thing, right? Because, like, I know with men, there's, like, a crazy statistic that nobody over 35 or 33 has been able to defend their title in the 155-pound class and under. So there's something about the lower weights, guys, that it seems to be, you know, you can only sustain, the lower weights can only sustain that real championship level up to about 30, 31, 32. That's when the 155ers and under tend to slow down.
It's 170 and under.
170 and under, pardon. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, because then we had Umar and Nurmagomedov also. Yeah. True. So then there you go, right? Now we also got, who else did we have that was like under 30 recently that is in a kind of an exception to the rule? But
Well, Bilal just won.
oh, that's
Bilal won the
right.
title at 36 as well.
Yo, guys, 2024 is the year of the new champions. Bet the money on the contender, guys. Izzy lost his title this year. Who else lost their title? Izzy lost her title. Volkanovski lost his title. Alexis Grasso lost her title. Sugar Sean O'Malley lost his title. Who else is going to lose their title? Oh, my gosh. There's only one man left, guys. There's only one man left right now. Alex Pereira. And that is coming up in the wackest card you've ever seen in your life. UFC 307. I'm putting on my conspiracy hat right now. Guys, every champion has lost in 2000. Yo, has every champion lost in 2024, bro, this year? Every title fight? Oh, no, Alex Pereira has remained king. Alex Romero has remained king, but we got a new featherweight champion. We have a new female champion. This is getting crazy, guys. The world is nuts. And you know what it is with MMA? Man, the level, everybody's just getting to that same level right now. Before, there was like gaps between levels, but now since everybody has the same amount of knowledge, I feel like before, the levels were a little bit mixed match. There wasn't that much training out there. But then you had the athletes above, you know, like people who were higher ranked above everybody else. But now with the skill level so high, with the knowledge, with the experience in the game, we have so many rising contenders. So UFC 306, Valentina Shevchenko, the Sphere, she came back. I might be a little bit biased. We used to train with Valentina, so I was really rooting for her. I was on the edge watching that fight. Super impressed with her takedowns, her grappling. She cleaned up her boxing. Alexis Grasso got the boxing advantage, I feel like, in the first two fights. And in this fight, you can tell that Valentina made the adjustments, all right? She was throwing long combinations, countering that right hand, because she ate a lot of right hands in her first two fights against Alexis Grasso. But in the rematch, she was ready for the right hand and had to answer for everything. She got a little bit she got her back taken in the first two fights. She took Alexis Grasso's back. She didn't just settle for like the guard, even though I know you guys, people complaining, oh, what the hell? Like, listen, let me tell you something, bro. When you're fighting and you're out there in the war, side control, half guard, that's where you want to be. I'm sorry, full guard, half guard, or the back mount is really the only few places you want to be. Mount and side mount are hard to hold in MMA, guys. Those are little positions a little bit easier to get up from, okay? So when you see a fighter sometimes in the closed guard, trust me, if you're trying to hold a motherfucker, all right, and I know, you know what I mean, you're trying to get this goddamn money, guys, all right? Everybody out here talking shit. They want to see slugfest. They want to see people just going toe-to-toe, barn burners, risking. Why the fuck do these people need to get brain damage for the rest of their life to entertain your dumbass for 36 minutes, okay? Listen, fights are won in the best way possible. This is the name of the game. Hit and don't get hit. All right? If that means taking the person down and holding them and fucking butt hugging them for 30 minutes, then that's the name of the game. All right? This guy's not trying to go home with fucking brain damage tomorrow. All right? For what? For who? For who? For our entertainment? There's nothing worse when a guy gets up off the cage, his face is all fucked up, and he's like, I do it for the fans. You know, what the fuck, man? This guy needs to get paid, bro. Unless you're cutting the check. My little rant for the day. Don't be complaining about these goddamn grapplers. You don't like grappling? Go grapple. Go take a jiu-jitsu class for a month, and you're going to love all these goddamn grappling fights. Everybody should know how to grapple anyways, okay? This shit should be a PE course in America. There should be goddamn jiu-jitsu and wrestling in every class. Got these clowns running around the earth talking. You guys can't even defend a double leg. Fucking make me sick to my stomach. You out here talking shit, and you can fucking blow on you, and you'd fall down like a paper, like a wet paper bag. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers softer than wet paper bags talking shit about goddamn professional athletes and wrestlers. Wrestling is the hardest sport in the world, okay? It's the most physical taxing and mental taxing sport in the world, and it's the most unrecognized and the most hated on. But that's the real shit, all right? I think even Marcus Aurelius said it. Even in the old school Greek days, they said that every man should know how to grapple. How are you going to take on the world if you can't take on yourself? So that's for all you guys talking shit about the wrestlers, all right? One time for my grapplers out there. But, yo, we got a lot of big fights. Brian Ortega, he got kind of banged up by Diego Lopez, the Brazilian Theo Von, all right? MMA, everybody's got a mullet guy in every source of the world, right? In MMA, we got Diego Lopez. In podcasting, they got Theo Von. So now, Diego Lopez, this guy is a title contender. Now, do I think this guy is like, I don't know. Who do you guys think is next for Diego Lopez? I would like to see a rematch with the guy who just got taken out against Aljamain Sterling. Oh, I would say put Aljamain Sterling versus Diego Lopez next. Oh, no, because then you're going to reward Aljo. So breaking news, guys. Aljamain Sterling had a great fight against Masvidal Evoliv. All right, that was going to be a dope fight. Another fight that the fans weren't going to love too much, all right? But the fans maybe ain't going to love that one too much. You know what I'm saying? But the enthusiasts, same thing, right? Like grapplers, I was really excited to see the Jiu-Jitsu American wrestling versus the Dagestan and Russian wrestling, okay, the Eastern style. That's what I was excited about because I love fucking wrestling, we were saying before. It's a very grappler-favored podcast today, guys, which is funny because next week when all my friends who are strikers are fighting, I'm going to go the opposite way and talk shit about the wrestlers. So I'm just out here fucking shooting from the hip. Don't hate me, all right, guys? Anyways, we got... I don't think Diego Lopez versus Masvidal. Oh, but Diego Lopez has a close fight against Masvidal, so that would be great. I just lost my damn... We got Diego Lopez going against Masvidal. That would be a good fight, right? Who's next for Diego Lopez? Now, maybe a Josh Emmett. We need somebody in the top. Maybe a Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, Diego Lopez. A lot of big fights in 45, but 45 is still one of those divisions that you got the top 2 or 3, and that is it. Like, Emilio just broke into the top 3, but it's like you still got Alex Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Ilia Topuria, and everybody else. Because you've seen in the last few fights, right? You saw what Alex Volkanovski did to Brian Ortega. You saw what Max Holloway did to Brian Ortega. But then you see Diego Lopez, kind of has a back and forth with Brian Ortega, right? Like, he smashed him pretty good. His face was destroyed pretty bad, but... Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, UFC 306, Noche UFC, a.k.a. if you were a Mexican, you were going to lose that night. I think every Mexican lost on the UFC Noche card. Only one Mexican won, the guy in the first fight, Ronaldo Rodriguez won. But he was the only Mexican to win, unfortunately, and he won a decision, and he was getting smashed in the first round. I was like, oh, snap. This is going to be a Mexican massacre night. In the prelims, every Mexican lost. And then in the first round of the first main card fight, Ronaldo Rodriguez is getting smashed on by our boy from Jamaica. Anyways, Diego Lopez defeats Brian Ortega. So I was excited to see what's next for him. What is next for Merab Dvalishvili? And what is next for Sugar Sean O'Malley? Who do you guys think Sugar Sean O'Malley should fight next? A lot of great fights for Sugar Sean. And for Merab, everybody wants to see Merab face Umar Nurmagomedov. That's a hard fight to deny. Umar is on a 6-fight winning streak in the UFC. He's got knockouts. He's got submissions. All right. And he's fought all tough guys. A lot of the top contenders are talking shit about Umar. Because he hasn't fought anybody really like in the top 5. Even though he just beat Corey Sandhagen in his first 5-rounder, he beat Corey Sandhagen, who I want to say was like ranked up there in the top 5 or at least top 10. So Umar Nurmagomedov, Dana White told Umar and Corey Sandhagen that the winner of that fight would be the number 1 contender, okay? It's the fight that makes sense. Peter Yan got ACL surgery after his fight versus Yang Sedong, so he's recovering. He'll be back soon, which sucks for him because he just had the biggest win of his life, and then he had a huge surgery to come back, but he's motivated more than ever. So there's a lot of great fights out, but Peter Yan has to wait a little bit. Yang Sedong just lost. Chito Vera just lost. So who do we got on a win streak right now at 135? We got Davidson Figueiredo, okay. The problem is he just had a big fight, but nobody saw that fight. I almost forgot he fought Cody Garbrandt. So you got to have if you want to put Davidson Figueiredo versus Merab Dvalishvili, you guys want to do the most lowest rated pay-per-view main event ever, you better put a heavyweight bomber on that fight because that's going to be a tough fight to have. That's going to be a tough main card to sell. Merab Dvalishvili versus versus Davidson Figueiredo. He is on a little bit of a win streak at 135. Corey Sandhagen was a good top nomination, but he lost. Close fight to Umar, so let's do it. Run it. Umar versus Merab. And I don't think it's a tough fight for Merab, but that might be a better fight than he thinks. All right? That's a tough fight, but two guys that he might have the cardio to withstand Umar, because Umar only had a 5-round fight with Sandhagen. I mean, he wasn't gassed or nothing. He was able to beat him all 5 rounds, but I don't think anybody's ready for that Merab pace. I'm telling you, that shit is different, all right? So if Merab can put the pressure on Umar, that's going to be his best route. But here's the catch. Umar is, I want to say, a little bit better version of Merab everywhere. I think he has the same level of wrestling, okay? I think he has the same strength because he's from that region, the Dagestan region, right? And he also has submission capabilities and knockout abilities. So that's the problem with Umar. Umar is 18-0, under 30, and I think he has everything Merab has. The only thing Merab has proven to have that is alien-like to this world is that cardio. So and he has a great chin. So if he can withstand the submission attempts, and here's the catch, guys. I don't know how good Merab is on his back. I don't think Merab's a guy that I really got to be worrying about triangle omoplata series with. I also don't think he's going to have like a vicious Kimura trap, right? You're talking about moves he's never done. Where you know that Nurmagomedovs have very high-level Kimura games. They got that Sambo style. They all have nasty rear naked chokes. They got nasty darces. I mean, you look at Islam. You look at Khabib. I mean, don't forget, Khabib fucking armbarred Justin Gaethje and then armbar triangled him again in the second round, all right? How did Khabib beat Gaethje? Armbar or he put him to sleep with a triangle, right?
Yeah, it was triangle.
So these guys are wrestlers, but they got nasty submissions. I mean, when Khabib could, he fucking tapped out Justin Gaethje like a white belt, all right? Islam Makhachev submitted Dustin Poirier in the 5th round. Yo, do you know how your arms feel after 3 rounds? In the 5th round, he hit him with a darce that it didn't even look that tight. It looked like he was on his damn forearm when I saw it, unless that was the way he finishes it. But these guys have submission capability, and I don't even think I've ever seen Merab establish hooks, okay? And Henry Cejudo did take Merab down a couple times, and he looked a little bit useless on his back. And the way he got up that's the thing. He got lucky with Cejudo because those are the type of grapplers that they don't like wrestling. And that's the game changer with the Dagestanis, man. That's the game changer with the team, with the Eagle team, the Magomedovs. These guys wrestle, but they submit, and they can control your body. They hand trap. They do the Dagestani handcuff, all right? They ice the legs. These guys know how to fight, so it's going to be a problem. But like I said, the only thing that Merab has, I feel like that would be his number one attribute, is going to be that world-class cardio that is undeniable. Sugar Sean O'Malley is in a tough picture, guys. Sugar Sean O'Malley's in a tough boat. I don't know who or what is next for him, but it's not going to be easy, all right? He kind of got Peter Yan blessed him by giving him that fucking number one contender fight, all right? Skipping every good grappler in the bantamweight division, okay? Then when he won the title, all right, he skipped the line, which, hey, no hate in the game. Conor McGregor did it, capitalized. Sugar Sean did it, capitalized. So you can't hate, right? I mean, he got the decision versus Peter Yan, and he beat Aljamain Sterling. I mean, what the hell? After that, you want to pick who you're going to fight, maybe you deserve that, right? You got the title. Once you get the title, you can start to make a little bit more decisions. And he's a smart fighter, right? It's a guy who's ran his career very good. So what's next for Sugar Sean O'Malley? Sandhagen's calling him out. Henry Cejudo's calling him out. But usually the champion gets a fighter coming off of a win. So I think the best fight, a fight he don't want, And still a tough fight for Peter, but I think the Peter Yan rematch, but I don't think Peter Yan will be ready on time. But if Peter Yan is healing right now from a knee injury, this guy, Sugar Sean, of course, every fight, this guy has something terribly wrong with him. He got a labrum, fucked up labrum. I don't even know what that is. So he's got something fucked up. He's going to need surgery. He'll probably milk that out for as long as he can. So then you got Sugar Sean versus Peter Yan, both coming off of injuries. Peter Yan coming off a win, fights the former champion for a number one contender fight. Then you put in Nurmagomedov versus Merab, which is great for Peter Yan because you get two wrestlers that can kind of cancel each other out. Peter Yan versus Nurmagomedov would be a great fight, great title fight that I want to see in the future. I don't know. We'll see if we get blessed that good because Corey Sandhagen had a close fight with Peter Yan also. All right, Corey Sandhagen is in the books, coming off a loss. A lot of great fights, guys. Bantamweight division is on and popping. Oh, I almost forgot Davidson Figueiredo. Damn. Davidson Figueiredo, Peter Yan would also be a great fight. That would actually be the hardest matchup, I think, for Peter Yan because David Figueiredo has some crazy submissions. Like, he's got that Brazilian style Charles Oliveira submissions. But, I don't know, man. With Peter Yan, there's levels to this game. Like, you haven't seen that guy's fought Aljo. He's had Aljo on his back for 20 minutes, and Aljo couldn't sniff a choke. So, I think that's one thing. I think that's one part where he's a little bit secure. And rewatching Merab and Peter Yan and rewatching Merab versus Sugar Sean, Peter Yan got up way easier and way more. And I know he was a little compensated going into that fight. So a lot of great fights for 135 division coming up, guys. In the women's division, what's next for Valentina Shevchenko? Should she go up to 135? A little bit lackluster. If I was Valentina, I would go up to 135, challenge for the title there, and try to get that double champ status. And also, then she has a double champ status, 2-time in 125, and then she could have the 2 division champs. So that will solidify her as the female GOAT. And we don't really know, guys, what the lifeline is for age on women fighting, right? Because we don't have that big of a pool, of a testing pool to know what age. Because women might be able to peak a little bit later in life, right? So we'll see. Maybe like, I don't know, they got like different types. What you're saying that they have like women have a different women have a different
women mature and hit their puberties at a different age than men typically.
So
and there's not enough stats to know, how that affects the way it affects the men too.
Yeah, so we can see, right? We don't know, man. Valentina might be able to fight into her 40s if she takes care of her body. I mean, that's a person. She don't have no bad habits. She don't smoke. She don't drink. She don't do nothing. So UFC, listen, to be fair, guys, this UFC, because of the UFC Noche and the Sphere and stuff like that, I think that was like a big deal. The next UFC is a little bit suspect. We got, let's see here. We got UFC 307 coming up, okay? This card, we got Alex Pereira taking Cahill Roundtree for the 205-pound title. Cahill Roundtree, everybody's wondering how he got this title shot. Listen, you can't hate the guy. If you call me and you want me to fight and pay me $1 million or a couple $100,000 to fight Pereira, sign me up, coach. So Cahill Roundtree's just doing his job. Super exciting fighter. So no matter what, we're going to get an amazing main event. And, people have been saying, like, I don't know, guys. They're saying that Cahill Roundtree might have some, like, special luck. People saying that, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Cahill Roundtree beat Alex Pereira and then we stick on our UFC champions losing streak right now, guys. 'Cause we've had new champions crowned, a lot of fights recently. So let's see how Cahill Roundtree fares up against Alex Pereira. Cahill Roundtree, vicious, powerful Muay Thai. Maybe the most vicious and ruthless Muay Thai we've ever seen in the 205-pound division. He has some of the most vicious knockouts in UFC history. But he's going on against another guy who has some of the most vicious hands. Cahill Roundtree, a little bit more Thai style based. Alex Pereira, of course, Muay Thai, but more kickboxing, right? With that vicious KO power, the most dangerous left hook that we've ever seen in maybe UFC history. But other than that, it's a pretty lackluster card, guys. Raquel Pennington's fighting Julia Pena. Oh, that's a good fight. I like that fight. You know what I'm saying? Julia Pena is tough. She's got like a lot of like woman power. She just had a baby. She's been coming back, so I'm excited for that one. And then we got Jose Aldo taking on Mario Batista. Who the fuck is that guy? I don't know. But if Jose Aldo's on fighting, I'm watching for sure. And the real banger, guys, that we got coming up, the real banger Ruski that I'm so excited for. I think the whole world is so excited for. And I think the UFC is doing this on purpose. They've been teasing us with these good main events, decent cards, but then they're going to throw a real Haas dog to us. They're going to give us a real treat in UFC 308. Ilia Topuria taking on Max Holloway. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm cheering for Max Holloway, but I got a bad feeling about this. I got a bad feeling about Max Holloway cutting back down to 45. It's getting a little bit older. He's taking a lot of shots. I just hope that the weight cut doesn't affect his chin when he takes on Ilia Topuria. Because Ilia Topuria, coming off a knockout off of Alex Volkanovski, is going to be coming in more confident than ever. He's looking sharp, he's looking crisp, and he's looking confident. Taking on Max Holloway. Props to Ilia Topuria. I want to say, let's see what happens here, right? Because he might have got lucky fighting Max Holloway now after skipping the line. And then before fighting, I think he got lucky fighting Volkanovski before Max Holloway, because Max Holloway is the number 2 guy in this featherweight division. If it wasn't for Volkanovski, he would still be number 1. He takes out everybody, all right? And every contender that's been looking good, they look good until they fight Max Holloway, and then Max Holloway outclasses them. Ilia Topuria just finished stopping the greatest featherweight of all time, or, tied for maybe the greatest featherweight of all time. And now we'll be taking on Max Holloway. I'm excited for this fight. This is going to be a banger. We got Robert Whittaker taking on Khamzat Chimaev. I'm not talking about that fight. I'm not talking about Khamzat until he fights. I'm never doing a prediction or nothing. I'm not even spending a breath of air on this guy because he's the most cocky fighter who never fights, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Oh, I smash you, brother. Yo, this guy's talking about he's going to smash everybody from the couch, but he can't even make weight, and he can't show up. So until he does that, I don't even want to talk about him. Then we got Magomedov and Ankalaev taking on... Ankalaev, sorry. Magomedov Ankalaev taking on Alexander Rakic, right? Man, this is a guy who could be a future champ, guys. This is a guy that everybody, all the grapplers, all the wrestlers in the division, Henry Cejudo, a few other guys are saying, this is the kryptonite for Alex Pereira, and they're trying to keep this guy away from Alex Pereira like the plague. But if he gets through Alexander Rakic, I would like to see Magomedov Ankalaev versus Yuri, but Yuri's coming off a couple losses, so maybe that's why. Oh, no, he just beat... I would like to see Magomedov versus Yuri. Made a little bit more sense. And then we got our boy with one eye. This card is stacked. Our boy with one eye, Sharon Magomedov, taking on Arman Petrosyan. This guy is a killer, guys. Arman Petrosyan has been killing it in the UFC. I've seen him fight a few times. So, anyways, guys, quick little recap. We've already gone a little bit overboard. We've got a big day ahead of us. Just recorded a new podcast. We got a new guest coming last week for next week, guys. All right, up-and-comer UFC, up-and-coming fighter in the game here in Miami. So we got a good podcast dropping next week. So make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you check out last week's episode with the fitness phenoms, Tristan and Tyler Lee, the brothers. All right, killing it. And make sure that you like and subscribe, guys. Be safe. Have a great weekend. A little bit late, but we got it to you. All right, guys. Have a great day. And always remember, train hard. Always do your best, and let God do the rest.